Welcome to Zohar class. The portion of this week is Emor. Emor in the meaning of say, not talking, but in Hebrew, daber is talking. Emor is saying. The portion talks about the rule of the Kohanim. What's their job, what they're supposed to say, what they're not supposed to say. In reality, this portion is for us, not only for the Kohanim. Before we're going to go through the Omer like every week, and then we're going to talk about the parasha. Before we're going to get to the Omer and the parasha, I want to go back 2 classes where we were talking about Lashon Hara, evil speech. It was a portion of Metzorah and Tazria, and we spoke about evil speech, how destructive it is, how harmful it is. Evil speech, it said, oh, evil. And Lashon Hara, Ra in Hebrew means bad. It's a horrible word. In spirituality, Ra is the worst energy, type of energy. Lashon Hara is very destructive, it's very harmful, it's bring Lo aleinu durasame, it brings sickness, it brings bad business, it brings bad relationship. We are just not aware of how harmful and powerful Lashon Hara is. And you know me, I'm going to explain to you step by step. I'm going to show you the formula. Why is it so bad, evil speech? And evil speech is not only by talking. I follow the Facebook, I follow the text, I follow the emails that we send to each other. Sending a bad email, negative email, is included in Lashon Hara.
But we don't know if it is true or not.
So, evil speech is, or Lashon Hara is something that goes through you. Yeah, maybe you don't say it, maybe you just press post or you forward it, but you read that information. It went through you. It went through your eyes, it went through your mind, it went through your heart.
You have a part in it.
So, you don't want that evil to be part of you. You don't want that Ra to be part of you. Evil speech is the worst sin in a spiritual language, and is the hardest tikkun, is the hardest to fix. And like we covered last class, evil speech coming from Gan Eden, from the first day of the creation, Adam and Eve, that the snake came, manipulate, lie, and told the story to Eve, and all the trouble starts from there. So, my purpose to bring this up, because honestly I care about you guys. I care about our community. It's not, by not saying Lashon Hara, evil speech, you're not doing me a favor. I'm concerned about you. Do yourself a favor. Do your children a favor. Do your business a favor. Do your health a favor. No Lashon Hara. And I don't want to even get into it if it's true or false. Our brain, if we're lucky, we have access to 1% of our brain. We are in the dark. Honestly, we are in the dark. We don't have no clue of what's going on. Professor Einstein is the genius, the smartest man ever. He had access to 3% of his mind. We don't know the truth. We don't have no clue of the story behind the story behind the story. So avoid Lashon Hara. Don't make it part of your life. I see texts, I see emails, I see posts on Facebook. Stop. You don't want this in your life. It goes through you. It sinks into our life. And doesn't matter if the story is true, even if it's true or false, it's considered Lashon Hara. Let's get some technical about it. If you remember last class about Lashon Hara, right before we left, we marked the Zohar. There was a section, it says that whoever studied the Torah, the eye of Hashem, the eye of the Creator is watching him. You remember we marked that? Whoever studied Torah is being marked, and the eye of the Creator is watching him. What does it mean? You know, in Kabbalah we have the light and we have the vessel. The light is available, but we have to build a vessel for it. Each time we look at the Hebrew letter, each time we hear the Torah reading, each time we learn a lesson from the Zohar, each time we study spirituality, we are building a vessel. And then the light comes in. Automatically, the light is available. The only thing is missing is the vessel is missing. So by studying, by learning, looking at the Hebrew words are the vessel. So when we're building a vessel, the light comes in. All the blessing, all the goodness, all the health, happiness, good business. So, and then the Zohar says, the moment we speak Lashon Hara, that was the next section, the eye of Hashem, the eye of the Creator, turns around. He stopped watching us. And if you remember my past classes, the eye of the Creator is the highest level of spirituality. This one here. So the moment we do some negative act, the moment we speak the evil language, so that eye stop looking at us. It turns its back to us. So I'm building a vessel. I'm studying Torah. I'm studying Kabbalah. I'm a good person. I'm constantly giving. I'm volunteering. I'm sharing. I'm building a vessel. The moment I speak Lashon Hara, the moment I say evil speech, that vessel is gone. That vessel is not there anymore. All my studies is gone. Everything I built for myself is not there anymore. So the moment I don't have the vessel, the light doesn't have a place to stay. The light goes away. So when the Zohar says the Creator eye stop looking at us the moment we say Lashon Hara, the moment this vessel become impure, become not tahor anymore, become impure, we make it dirty by speaking the Lashon Hara, that light stop looking at us, the light goes away. So in reality, it doesn't matter what story, true or not, or how good or how bad the story is. Do you want the light of the Creator to stop looking at you?
No.
For a temporary 2 seconds pleasure of gossiping? So don't do it to yourself, don't do it to your family, don't do it to your business. Keep the eye looking at you all the time. Don't cause the eye, don't cause the light to turn its back on you. So the light, the eye, doesn't care if it's a true or false. As long as you become unpure, the moment you are judging, the moment you become this big judge, I'm a judge, I'm an attorney, I'm a lawyer, I'm a jury, I know what's right, what's wrong. The moment you become impure, the moment you use your intelligence, that blessings fly away from you. You go to any Judaism classes, you go to any Orthodox rabbi, they're going to say Lashon Hara is the worst. But we didn't know the reason, now we know the reason. The moment we speak evil, the blessing is not there. It cannot be with you guys at the moment we talk evil. Like I said, talking evil is not only talking, is all the electronics, all the forwarding. We honestly, we don't know. We are in the dark here. But I don't want to damage myself. I don't want to damage my family. And it's very painful. Lashon Hara is very painful. I experienced it many times. It's honestly, I don't wish it for anybody. We are vulnerable. We all gifted. We have gift in certain places, but in some places we are vulnerable. We have lack. So that lashon hara is strike us where we have a lack, where we actually not very good at. If you are not good in health, so by lashon hara, even the health's going to get worse. So the moment, what the Zohar says last 2 weeks ago, he says the eye is looking at us when we are studying Torah, when we are practicing Torah, and protecting us. You remember the word? He says also protecting us against evil forces. So can you imagine the moment the eye is not looking at us, it turns its back to us, all these evil forces, they come and attack us. We are not protected anymore. And it strikes where it hurt the most, when we are weak. You remember the fight of Yaakov and that angel, and he strike him on sciatic nerve? Wow, that's a painful nerve. When you have a sciatic pain, even when you blink, it hurts. So this all the bad, there is no bad fortune, there is no sickness, there is no bad relationship, there is no bad business. We are the cause for it. We are the cause for it. Because when we are not protected by this light, these evil forces, they attack us. And they attack us when we are weak. There is a story in the Zohar this week. It's a very interesting story. Again, it's all about speaking, talking. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, whoever wrote the Zohar, the father of Kabbalah, he was in a cave for 12 years. He studied with Eliyahu Navi, he studied with Moshe. 12 years took him to write the Zohar. And he was in a level of the high spirituality for these 12 years. So after 12 years, he come out of the cave. You see people are working the land, building the house, they are shepherd. So he went mad. He said, what are you guys doing? You don't know that there is a Torah? Torah is the absolute truth. There is no truth higher than the Torah. Why are you guys working and not studying Torah? This is the ultimate truth. This is the tree of life. And each time he said that, and he was looking with his eyes, he was burning the bushes, he was burning the houses. He was speaking the truth. And then the voice came, from the guy, says, Rabbi Shimon, you're not ready yet. Go back to the cave for another year. You're speaking the truth, but there is no kindness in your speech. There is no kindness in your act. So even if the story is truth, even whatever we hear is truth, we are not allowed to judge, we are not allowed to talk about it. Because kindness comes before truth. Even if you speak the truth, is lashon hara. This mouth, we had a class about the mouth in the past 2 classes, is only for speaking goodness, only for elevating, encouraging, empowering. It's kedusha, it's mouth of kedusha, holiness. So we cover this subject of lashon hara. Again, I'm very concerned. I don't want this in our families. I don't want this in our community. It's destructive. Is horrible. It's very painful. Over 2 seconds of joy of gossiping, don't bring it to yourself.
Can I say something?
After the class, please. After the class. So that's cover the lashon hara, the evil speech, and there is so much more into it. I don't want to take too much of your time, but if you study the Zohar, if you study the Kabbalah, it's all about law of attraction. Who we want to attract. If I'm forwarding an ISIS video on Facebook, I'm attracting that energy to my life, to my house, to my body. You don't want to do that. Only we want to attract goodness. Only we want to attract happiness. This mouth, these fingers, these eyes, everything coming out of this body is good and happiness. protect yourself about all the evil, all the badness out there. So we are going to go forward with Omer. For whoever not been with us in the past classes, we are in a period called Omer. Omer is 49 days between Passover and Shavuot. It's the month of Iyar, the second month of the year. The first month was the Chesed, kindness. The second month that we are at right now is month of judgment, month of restriction.
Week.
Month of Iyar is covered the whole Omer. Iyar is between Omer. And it's come to sweeten the judgment. It's the month of Nisan is a giving, and month of Iyar is receiving. We want to sweeten the judgment by acting upon the lessons of the Omer. We learn that if you have an obstacle, if you have a challenge, if you have an issue in our life, it's a judgment. We've done something in this life, past life, 100 years ago, there is a judgment on us. We are in a correction facility. So in order to sweeten this judgment, we have to go through the lessons of the Omer and practice them and bring it to ourselves. So by Shavuot, we are receiving this amazing light, and by Yom Kippur, that again, before the Ne'ilah, we are reciting all these gates that's going to open for us, and Kippur is kapara, is like for good, that judgment going to be erased from us. So now we are learning, we have time to practice it until Yom Kippur, so that judgment going to be removed from us. If you look at the Ten Sefirot, I said, Ten Sefirot, this is the DNA of the universe. This is the DNA of everything. So this is Passover. The right column is Passover. The middle column is Shavuot. And the last column is the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, and Sukkot. And in Kippur, we have a chance to reach Bina, right? So this is Passover, Shavuot, and this is Yom Kippur. So in Passover is behind us. We are between Passover and Shavuot. We are practicing, we are learning about the 49 days of Omer in order for us to, in Kippur, to complete the whole cycle and remove that judgment from us. If you know, they call it the Sidurim Shalosh Regalim. They say Shalosh Regalim, 3 holidays. And this is Shalosh Regalim, 3 columns. They call it 3 major holidays Regalim. Regalim means columns. They're referring to the columns of the 10 Sefirot. Regalim means legs or columns.
Right column is receiving.
Is Passover, this is Shavuot, and this is the high holidays. So in order to go through a tikkun, I always said it takes a year to do a tikkun. It takes a year to do a correction. And this is the process we have to go through. We receive the light on Passover. We go through the process of Omer to cleanse ourselves, purify ourselves. And Shavuot, we receive more light. And if we are worthy of it, if we learn a lot, if we practice, if we change, if we transform ourselves, then we have a chance to reach Bina and cleanse ourselves for good. So tonight we are going to cover the past 7 days. If you're going to go online, eresculturecenter.org, you're going to learn the lessons of Omer up to now. Tonight, we're going to continue. Last class we covered up to 24 gate. Tonight, we're going to continue with the gate of the 25th gate.
25th?
And after the class, we're going to recite the blessing for the Omer. So what is the 25th lesson that we're going to learn now? We're going to practice it, and then we're going to receive its light in Shavuot and in Kippur. Sha'arei Lev Tov, gate of good-heartedness. Lev Tov, good heart. It's very simple. There is not that much you have to explain. It's about having a good heart. But this is a Kabbalah class, so everything has a formula, everything has an explanation. Let me tell you what is left off. How do you write left off? Is Lamed Bet, and Tov is Tov. Do you know what's the numerical value of Tov? You should know it by now. 17. What is the numerical value of heart?
32,
32. Together is
49.
49 days of Omer, 49 gates of Bina. So, what's Kabbalah telling us? All the lessons of the Omer is included into this lesson. Good heart. Just having a good heart. You all seen people with good heart, and God forbid we all met some people that they don't have a good heart. Left off. We have to practice left off from now until Kippur. What other secret there is about the heart? You know, why on the 49 days of Omer we don't have a good mind? Why we don't have a good consciousness? We have a good heart, but it doesn't ask us to have a good mind. And, you know, most of the time in our life, I said, do I go with my head or do I go with my heart? If I go with my head, it's all logic. If I go with my heart, it's all feeling. If I go with my head, it's all wisdom. If I go with my heart, it's understanding. So there is this duality within our body. The head is the male and the heart is the female. This one it gives, the heart it receives. The mind want to share, we want to share our chokhmah, we want to give our wisdom, we want to share what we know. Our heart is the receive. I want this, I want a house, I want a car, I want money, I want love, I want compassion. It's all wanting. The heart is all wanting. I want something. You know. Or we said, my heart is broken. You didn't buy me a present, you broke my heart. You know. So there's so many examples of that the heart is the receiving and the mind is giving. So when the Torah says, when it asks us to have a good heart, what does it mean? And the nature gives us a good hint. The nature gives us a beautiful hint. What is the color of the brain?
White,
What is the color of the heart?
red.
So the mind is chesed, is kindness, is the right color, and the heart is the gevurah, is the left color. The mind is giving, white color, chesed. The heart is red, is the receiving. I want, I need, give it to me, selfish. I want for everything for myself. So look how beautiful the nature is. Brain is white, the heart is red. So the brain is okay. He says we leave it alone, but the heart needs to do some corrections. Left off, good heart. Stop, wanting all the time. Stop, being selfish. Stop thinking about yourself. Stop thinking, what's good for me. It says left off, good heart. Think, good about the heart. Don't be so selfish and egoistic.
Good heart can be for others too,
For everybody.
not only for itself.
For everybody. Left off, yeah, good heart. Where the good heart show itself when you are contracting with other people. And God forbid, lo aleinu, chas v'chalila, what's the most famous disease that everybody, gets sick? Heart disease. Because all receiving. In Kabbalah, in spirituality, he says, we don't want to receive. I want to be giving. So, receiving has a consequence. Receiving has a payment. Receiving is ego, is dark. So, left off, not only we are good for other people, we are doing favor to ourselves also. We're gonna have a healthy heart. We're gonna stay away from the judgment. That's a beautiful lesson of left off. And the numerical value 49, it's all the 49 lessons are inclusive into the having a good heart. Is it nice? Beautiful lesson? It's amazing. Left off, good heart.
And that's gate 25?
Gate
25.
25. So we want to switch from receiving to give. You know what we do? The men, we put the tefillin in the morning. The whole issue of humanity is the fight between the consciousness and to the mind, to the heart. We put the tefillin on the head and put on the heart. We want to bring it together. So this is the brain and this is the heart. We want to be the middle column. We want to bring it together. We want to be in a partnership. The next gate, gate 26, Sha'arei Limud Torah Leshma, gate of the study of the Torah for its own sake. For its own sake. You know, we had the gate of Torah, and we talked about it last week. What is study of the Torah for its own sake? I mean, there's a lot of people studying Torah. There's a lot of people studying Zohar. There's a lot of people studying Kabbalah. What's the purpose? Do I want to become rich out of this study? I want to make money out of it?
Make your wife.
I want to become famous. I'm this great teacher and I'm this great student. You know, no. It says you study Torah only for the sake of studying Torah. No agenda behind it. I don't want to become famous. I don't want to become rich. I don't want to become, celebrity. I don't want people respect me because I'm studying Torah. I don't want recognition. I don't want thank you. I don't want nothing. The only reason I'm studying Torah because the blueprint of the universe is going to teach me how to talk, how to behave, how to have a healthy, happy life, and spread goodness and happiness and health to others. That's my only purpose of studying Torah. The next gate, gate number 27, Sha'arei Kavod, gate of honor. Wow, this is so huge. Kavod, respect. This is again the extension of Lashon Hara. We are required, the student of Kabbalah and everybody, we are required to have human dignity for every soul on this earth. Human dignity. For animals, vegetation, inanimate, we are supposed to have a human dignity for everything. Kavod, respect. You know, Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students. This is a known fact. Everybody knows it. Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students. In Omer, during the Omer, right now, this period, they all died. Only 5 of them survived. That one of them is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar. The teacher of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was Rabbi Akiva. He had 24,000 students. And during the Omer, 24,000 died except 5 of them. Can you imagine the students of Rabbi Akiva? They're all equal like Rabbi Shimon. They had love of God, they had love of Torah, they were studying, they were teaching, they were doing all the rituals, they were keeping Shabbat. They did everything by the book. But you know why they died? Because they didn't have respect for each other. They even had respect for God. They even had respect for the Creator. But that still didn't save them. 24,000 students died because they have respect for each other. When one of them got an A, for example, the other one was jealous. Oh, how come he gets A? I don't get A. When they were like comparing and competing and fighting. Does it sound familiar? I keep Shabbat better than you, or I keep Kashrut better than you, and competing and comparing I'm smarter than you, I know more than you. Can you imagine 24,000 students of Kabbalah died during the Omer? Only because of no respect with each other. They even had respect for the Creator, but they didn't have respect for each other. So we have to ask ourselves, come on, do we have respect for everybody around us, humanity? Kavod is a huge word in Hebrew. Even on Abekoach, the last word is a kavod. Baruch Shem kavod. Kavod is a huge word. Kavod is a very spiritual word. It's way up there. So, basic human dignity for everything and everybody. It's connect us to Lashon Hara, right? What the students did? Lashon Hara. I'm better than you, you're better than me, you know more than me, I'm a better student, you're a better student, I keep Shabbat, you don't keep Shabbat. That's Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is very powerful, very destructive, the worst force on this planet. And if you want to get technical about it, how do we write kavod?
What does kavod mean?
Respect.
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 Kavod.
Kavod.
Kavod. If we take the vav out, it's become kaved, become heavy. It comes down. It's falling on the ground. So kavod is up there, and kaved is below malchut. What is the vav? It's the zer and pin. Chesed, kindness, gevurah, brave, tiferet, beauty, emunah, shalom, yesod. So, if we take out all the goodness from the word kavod, it's become heavy. It's going to fall down. So, respect elevate us. No respects drop us down. So we want to practice respect for everybody. Everything on this planet is the creativity of the Creator. When you don't respect it, you don't respect the Creator. So don't expect for blessing, don't expect for goodness if you don't respect the creativity of the Creator. The next one is Sharei Kalkala, gate of sustenance. Sustenance is not the right word for Kalkala. Kalkala means good economy. We had Sharei Parnasa Tova, right? Like good business, and we explained to it. This one is Sharei Kalkala, gate of economy. We are responsible. We are responsible for the economy of our family, economy of our community, economy. Some of us, maybe we have a huge soul and we can change the economy of the city, even a country. So if I'm a good investor in real estate and I have a good business, I have a good parnasa tova, but I keep it to myself, that's not right. That's not the teaching of the Omer or the Zohar or the Torah is. If you're a good investor, you have to affect the economy of other people around you also. You're supposed to lift. If you have a gift, it's not your gift to take it home and use it for your own personal benefit. We have to affect the economy. I know we have this concept because we are foreigners, we came from other countries, they were depressing us, so we were hush-hush about business, we never share secrets, we never share information. Now the time changed, it's a free country, and we are supposed to affect good on the economy of other people too. If we know something, if we have a secret, if we have a formula, if we have a way to save for the retirement, to send children to university, I don't know, we are responsible to share that knowledge, that wisdom, and affect the whole economy of my community, not only for myself. The next one, gate of 2029, Sharei Kapara, gate of atonement. Wow, there is a nice one. Share kapara. Kapara is also kippur, and in old countries, they used to also do kapara. I don't know, with the chicken. I'm not gonna get there, but there is a good lesson behind it. What is share kapara? On Kippur, we come and we say, oh, I made this mistake, I make that mistake. We go through a whole huge list of mistakes and sins that we did, and then we ask for forgiveness. Kapara means forgiveness. Like, clear my sin, take away my sin, and make me pure, make me clean. Forgiveness. There is many levels of forgiveness. We had a gate of slicha, you remember, forgiveness? There is many levels of forgiveness. What is share kapara? This is a great lesson of Kabbalah. Sometimes we made a mistake, sometimes we make a sin, but we have such an effect in other community, in other people, that not the creator, that the judgment on us the judge is gonna say, if I'm gonna harm or if you're gonna take the light from this guy, it's going to affect other people too. If you are a mother, if you are a father, if you are a teacher, if you are a community leader, if you are a doctor, if you have effect on other people's life, you're going to be saved from judgment. You're going to be saved. You're going to be forgiven because you have effect on other people's life. So this is a basic rule of Kabbalah. If you go out of yourself, if you provide to other people, if you are changing other people's life, if you are bringing goodness to people, your level of forgiveness is much higher. If you are a nobody, if you are living in a desert, you don't have no effect on no people. So the level of forgiveness is much lower. If you have effect on 10 people's life, 20 people, 100 people's life, you have effect as a mother, as a teacher, as a community leader, as a volunteer, as a good neighbor, as a good friend, then the level of forgiveness is much higher. So of course you cannot abuse the system and do mistakes and sins, but the kapara, that's what share kapara is. The more you go out of yourself, the more you affect people. We have so many stories that people go to visit sick people, they help sick people, they volunteer. They're happier, they'll have a good life because the level of forgiveness for them is much higher. Now the other aspect of kapara, what is this kapara? What is this chicken they used to kill, over, to remove judgment? The Torah says that when somebody sins, somebody made a mistake, take a goat to a Kohen Gadol, say, I sin. So the Kohen Gadol put his hand on a goat. He says, all your sin goes to the goat. And they used to sacrifice the goat. That's the story, and that's not what we practice. The forgiveness, the Share Kapara open for us when we sacrifice the evil inclination, that negative aspect of us. If I decide that today I'm going to sacrifice, destroy the jealousy in me, I'm going to sacrifice the Lashon Hara in me, I'm going to sacrifice the hate and anger in me, so I'm earning 2 points. First, I get rid of this horrible negative consciousness that I carry with myself, and by destroying it, by sacrificing it, I'm earning forgiveness, I'm earning kapara from the Creator. So in reality, what we have to sacrifice is not a poor animal, is the evil inclination, the bad negative force within us. Jealousy, hate, anger, ego, controlling, proud. We have to sacrifice it in order to receive forgiveness. The next one, on the 30th day, and tonight is the 31st, yes. The 30th gate, which was today, we just passed, is Share Yeshua, gate of salvation. You know, we had a gate of Teshua, and we spoke about it, that there is a hope. I know everything is good. It's going to get even better. What is Share Yeshua? Share Yeshua starts with a Yud, and the combination of letters in Talmud Sefirot is talking about Chokhmah. And we know the name of Hashem, the Yud He Vav He, starts with the Yud also. So Share Yeshua is the gate of wisdom. Is the gate of wisdom. The more wisdom I bring to my life, the more understanding, the more I understand the rules and regulations of the Torah and the Zohar, the more gates open for me. Yeshua means salvation. Enough with this pain and suffering. The Chokhmah, the wisdom, gonna save me. That's another thing with Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara bring a lot of pain and suffering. We don't know where it's coming from. We have pain, we have suffering, we have issues, we don't know where it's coming from. A big portion of it is coming from Lashon Hara. We don't see it. But when we have the Chokhmah, when we learn, when we study, when we understand the formula of the universe, that I don't want the light leave my body, leave my house, leave my family, then I'm going to be saved from this pain and suffering. So Share Yeshua is all have to do with the salvation that's going to come only with wisdom and Chokhmah. The next gate that starts from tonight until tomorrow night is Share Tal Matar LeBracha, gate of dew and rain for blessings. You know, in nature we have dew, Tal, Shabna, and then we have rain, Geshem, but Matar in Hebrew means very strong rain. What is dew and what is rain? Dew is the minimum water that we need to survive. It's like the minimum of the minimum. This, our Father, our Creator, He loves us so much. Doesn't matter who you are or what you are, criminal, not criminal, good or bad. He's gonna give us the shabnam, the tal. There's the minimum to survive. Something grow out of the dew that we can survive from. But we don't want to survive. We want to have a wonderful life. We want a lot of food, a lot of money, a lot of happiness, a lot of health, a lot of wealth. We want the rain. We don't want the minimum of the minimum. And believe it or not, you know, rain is a gift. The dew is the minimum given to us. Doesn't matter who we are or what we do. And the rain is a gift. As a community, as a country, if you do good, if you are positive, if you are righteous, if you are spiritual, then we get the rain. Then we get this extra blessing. So in our personal life, we don't want to survive only with the dew. We want a lot of rain, a lot of blessing in our life. But it's only it's only a gift, it's only a reward. It's not going to come on its own. Our goodness, our spirituality, our good heart, our blessings, not speaking Lashon Hara, going to open this gate of rain of blessing to us. That's how far we're going to go with the Omer. So for tonight until tomorrow night, I want to have this consciousness. I want to go extra mile. I want to go maximum of goodness that I can do. I don't want to survive on a do. I want a storm of blessing in my life by being good and doing good. Okay, now we're going to go to the portion of Emor. Again, it's the continuation of Emor, what we say, what not to say. And this portion is talking about Kohanim. This portion is talking about the Kohanim. I'm going to read the sentence from the Torah. This is from the Torah, not the Zohar. The first sentence of the Torah. It says, "Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, Emor el Kohanim bnei Aharon, v'amart lehem lenefesh lo itama ba'amav." It says 3 times Emor, 3 times say. I'm going to read it in English. And the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, a priest must not defile himself for any of his people who die." This is the portion that talks about the Kohanim, that they're not supposed to go to cemetery, they're not supposed to touch dead people, all the rules and regulations of what the Kohanim supposed to do, who they can marry, who they cannot marry. But the main things is telling them, don't touch the dead. Don't go and don't touch anything that is dead. You know, it's talking about all of us. It's not only about the Kohanim. There is a Kohen within us. We have Kohen, Levi, Israel within us. And when Moshe went to Paro and told him, "Let my people go," he says, "I want to make him a Kohanim." So eventually we are supposed to become all Kohanim. Not the title, but who we are. The Zohar says Kohen is Chokhmah. You know, Kohen Gadol, Kohen is a Chokhmah. Kohen has all the wisdom. In the Torah says, when somebody gets sick, they go to a Kohen. They have an issue with their wife, they go to a Kohen. They make a sin, they go to a Kohen. They have a business problem, they go to a Kohen. Why Kohen? Because Kohen has a Chokhmah. Kohanim, they are the channel between us and the Creator. The Kohen Gadol was talking to the Creator face to face. So, when there was a issue in the nation, when there was any kind of issue, the Kohen had the answer. The Kohen knew what to say because he had the Chokhmah, he had the wisdom. So if the Kohanim are here, where is death? Where death exists? Death exists on the Malchut of the Malchut, is the below the 10 Sefirot. So if the Kohanim is up here, in the highest level of spirituality, and a dead body or a nefesh or something, we believe in the belief system of death, that there is an end into good relationship, there is an end to business, there is an end in life, is all here. So, what the secret of the Torah is not the Kohanim don't go to cemetery. He says, don't bring yourself to the level of the Malchut. Stay up there. Stay with the wisdom. You know, over and over in these classes we said that death doesn't exist. There is no end. And as a spiritual person, as a wise student, I want to see the big picture. I know there is a continuation. The soul never dies. The soul lives forever. But if I'm bringing myself to the level that death exists, and I'm going to a cemetery, and it's depressing and sad, and what's the purpose of living? It's like you're coming down 9 levels. You're decreasing who you are. So in reality, we don't touch death, you know. So, but the secret of the Torah is that when you have the wisdom, stay up there. Stay in a level consciousness of the Kohen. Don't bring yourself down to this physical world of reality. We want to be connected to the 99% of the reality. What is the word death in Hebrew? Is met. Met. What is the opposite of met? Is tam. Tam. So met is mem tet. The opposite of it is tam. So the opposite, that's a beautiful secret in the Hebrew language. The opposite word of death is not life. Tam in Hebrew means simple. Simple, innocent. So what the Zohar tried to explain to us is, how can I disconnect myself from this energy of death, that there is an end, there is a sadness, there is a depression. I'm afraid what's going to happen. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my business. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my relationship. I'm afraid the end is coming. He says the opposite of it is simple, Tom. Tom has a lot of meaning. Means simple, means innocent, means I'm not calculating like the student of Rabbi Akiva. They were calculating, they were manipulating, they tried to be smart. So the opposite of that is simple, innocent, not calculating, not manipulating, not overthinking, simplifying. You know, be complete, be whole, be at peace, be shalom, have peace. So, the energy of death is exactly the opposite. I'm reactive, I'm worried, I'm constantly thinking about the past, thinking about the future. He says, live your life simple. If you want to be saved from the force of death, you have to live your life simple, not calculating. Of course, when we are studying, when we are learning, when we are elevating, learning, we calculating, we talking, we learning from each other. But when we hit an obstacle, when there is an issue in our life, we have to be simple about it. Like Amijun always says, be powerless. Be powerless. You're not surrounding to the obstacle, not surrounding to the issue, but you approach it with simplicity. Because when I'm start thinking, when I'm start calculating and what's going to happen, how I'm going to come out, what do I do? So I'm blocking myself from the Creator. I'm using my own brain, my own consciousness. When there is an issue, you approach it with simplicity, you approach it with powerless, and you, with the wisdom, you try to understand, to see the big picture. What is the lesson? What is the purpose? Where this thing is going to take me? What is the lesson behind it? By calculating and reacting and trying to understand it and trying to manipulate it, we are making the distance even bigger between us and the Creator. There is a beautiful example about it, and we still need to read from the Zohar. This example of children and parents is the best example ever. Do you know any parents that don't want the best for their children? The parents want to give all the love, all the goodness, all the happiness, all the blessing to their children. But what about the children? What is the children consciousness? Oh, my dad don't let me watch TV until 12 o'clock at night. My dad don't let me eat candies. My dad take me to a doctor and they give me a shot. What kind of a dad is that? My parents don't let me draw on the walls. The parents love the children. They are willing to die for their own children. But look at the children consciousness. 99% of the children, they always say, oh, I don't like my dad because they don't let me do what I want to do. So it's the same thing with us and the Creator. It giving us all the love, all the blessing, all the bracha. But my consciousness and the Creator consciousness, the children consciousness and the parents consciousness is totally different. What's the difference? The children don't have the knowledge, don't have the intelligence, don't have the wisdom of the parents. The children don't know what's good for them. If they're simple, if they're not calculating, if they're not rebelling against the parents, if they follow the parents going to take them to the best lifestyle as possible that they can provide. But the children, no, I don't like my mom, I don't like my dad, they don't let me do what I want to do. Because they know what's good for you. So, our father and mother giving us the best of everything. But we don't have the wisdom, we don't have the consciousness of that He has. We want to do it what we want to do, which is not good for us. So, I know there's situations in our life is very difficult, But with the chokhmah, with the understanding, with the wisdom, with the intelligence, we can understand exactly what the story is. It's all about intelligence. It's all about what we know. And when we are looking at the obstacle that there is in our life, not only to accept it with the simple, we have to accept it with love. The Zohar even go further. With love. Whatever issue we have, with love we approach it. Can you imagine if our parents want to take us to get a shot for the doctor? If he says, okay, with love I'm going to come with you, it's going to make it easier for everybody. But if you fight the parents, it's going to be horrible. So, with love we embrace the obstacle, the issue, and we simple about it, we feel powerless about it, and we try to learn and understand what is the purpose, what is the lesson behind that obstacle or issue. What they call Omer, they call Omer 7 weeks, Sheva Shavot Temimot. They call it 7 weeks of simplicity. That's the name of Omers. That's another name of Omer. Simple. One huge lesson, again, is connected to Emor, the name of this portion. Speak what you say. It's again connected to Lashon Hara. Is to be happy for other people's success. There's 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, they were not happy with each other. They were competing with each other. That's why they died. We have to learn. We have to learn. We know successful people. We have to be happy for them. Only by being happy for them, we're going to draw the energy of happiness and success to ourselves. If we are looking at successful people with jealousy, with hate, with anger, why not me, why him, then we are attracting the energy of death, God forbid. It's a huge lesson. Be happy for them. Happy for someone's success, destroy force of death. That's a sentence from the Kabbalist. Happy for someone's success, destroy force of death. Death comes only when we are jealous. Death comes only that we see darkness. We cannot be happy for other people. Let's read from the Zohar before the 1 hour ends. We are in book number 16, page 115, section 28. Book number 16, page 115, section 28. We are reading, listen, loudly. We are reading this section of the Zohar. Please sit comfortably. Don't cross your hand, don't cross your leg. If you don't have the book, just follow the reading. We're going to read in Aramaic, we're going to read it in English. This class is not only for knowledge. Page 115, paragraph 28. This class is not only for knowledge, it's connection to the cosmic energy that's going to bring us simplicity, going to bring us shalom, going to bring us complete. It's going to take away the force of death and end from us in health, business, relationship, and everything. So by reading this section, we have this kavanah to be complete, to have shalom. There is a word shalom in this section. To be happy for everybody's success. To speak only Kedusha, to speak only holiness, and bring health and happiness to the whole community. Don't cross your legs and hands. We are in section 28. Tachazai, Kahana ala ba'al achuzata beshapiru de'anin, benahiru de'anfin, bechido yatir mikula, velo ba'al achuza, baya atzivei verugza. אלא כולה כגוונה